The first crack appeared in my life on a Tuesday afternoon, disguised as a harmless question. We were standing in my mother's kitchen, the air heavy with the smell of cardamom tea and freshly ironed silk. Wedding invitation cards were stacked neatly on the dining table, cream-colored, embossed with gold, my sister Lena's name glowing like a promise the universe had decided to keep. Mom didn't even look at me when she said it. "Your sister's wedding will be perfect," she smiled, fingers smoothing the corner of an invitation. "When's your turn?" I froze. The kettle whistled behind us, sharp and shrill, but it felt distant. My heart thudded in my ears, louder than any sound in the room. "It already happened," I said. My mother turned slowly, confusion creasing her forehead. "What?" I met her eyes that had always looked through me, never quite at me. I said, "It already happened." Silence fell like something heavy breaking. Lena laughed from the couch. "What kind of joke is that?" But I wasn't joking. Because 3 years ago, I married a man no one in that room wanted to remember. And I didn't invite them. They never knew about Daniel. Or maybe they knew and chose to forget, just like they forgot every version of me that didn't fit neatly into their expectations. I had always been the quiet daughter. The practical one. The one who didn't demand things, didn't shine too bright, didn't embarrass the family with dreams that felt too big. Lena was different. She was celebrated. Protected. Her heartbreaks were emergencies. Mine were inconveniences. When she cried, the world paused. When I did, I was told to be strong. So when I fell in love, I didn't announce it. Daniel worked at the same publishing firm as I did. We met over a broken printer and stayed talking long after the office lights shut off. He listened, really listened. To my thoughts, my fears, the way I felt invisible in my own home. He saw me. And when he asked me to marry him, I said yes without asking anyone for permission. We had a small courthouse wedding. No guests. No gold. No photographs staged for approval. Just vows whispered with trembling hands and a future that felt honest. For a while, it was beautiful. Then life did what it always does. It tested us. 6 months after the wedding, the company downsized. Daniel lost his job. A month later, my department followed. 2 incomes vanished. Savings shrank. Stress crept in quietly, like mold behind walls. My mother noticed I stopped visiting. "You should come home more," she said once on the phone. "Your sister helps us so much." I swallowed the bitterness. "I'm busy. Busy working double shifts at a cafe during the day and freelancing at night. Busy keeping us afloat. Busy pretending love alone was enough to pay rent." Daniel grew distant. Not cruel, just tired. Ashamed. Silent. One night, I came home to find him sitting in the dark. "I don't think I'm good enough for you," he said. I laughed softly. "That's not your decision." But love doesn't survive pride unscathed. Arguments replaced conversations. Apologies replaced affection. And slowly, without shouting or slammed doors, the marriage collapsed under the weight of unspoken resentment. We didn't divorce immediately. We just stopped being married. The day Daniel left, he kissed my forehead like someone saying goodbye to a dream. "I hope one day," he whispered, "they see you." I watched him walk away, carrying the pieces of a life no one else had ever acknowledged. And I buried the truth deep inside me. So standing in my mother's kitchen years later, watching her plan the wedding of the daughter she adored, something inside me finally snapped. Lena scoffed. "You're not married." "I was," I said quietly. Mom frowned. "Don't be ridiculous." "I'm not." I reached into my bag and pulled out a folded paper, yellowed, creased from being carried too long. "A marriage certificate." The room went silent. Lena stood up. "You're lying." Mom stared at the paper, then at me, then shook her head slowly. "Why would you do something so important without your family?" The question pierced deeper than any insult. "Because," I said, voice steady, "I wanted one thing in my life that wasn't measured by your approval." Her face hardened. "So you failed. Just like you always do." The words landed clean and sharp. I picked up my coat. "You can keep your perfect wedding," I said. Mine was real. As I walked out, my phone buzzed. An unknown number. She doesn't know everything, the message read. And neither do you. My breath caught. Because the past I buried had just found my address. The message stayed on my screen long after I reached my apartment. She doesn't know everything. And neither do you. I locked the door, leaned against it, and slid down to the floor. Unknown numbers don't haunt you unless they know something you don't. I typed back once. Who is this? The reply came instantly. Someone who knows why your marriage ended. My chest tightened. Because I thought I knew. That night, sleep didn't come. Memories replayed, arguments that never resolved, silences that felt heavier than words, Daniel's distant eyes. What if I'd been wrong? The next morning, I skipped work and went somewhere I hadn't been in years. The cafe where Daniel and I used to meet after work, when life still felt possible. I sat at the same corner table. 10 minutes passed. Then someone pulled out the chair across from me. Not Daniel. A woman. Mid-30s. Calm. Tired eyes. The kind of face that carried secrets without effort. I'm Myra, she said. Daniel's sister. My hands trembled. He never mentioned you. She smiled sadly. He didn't mention a lot of things. Myra told me the truth in fragments. Daniel hadn't left because he felt inadequate. He left because he'd been blackmailed. My mother. She had found out about the marriage through a distant relative. Furious that I'd married beneath our standards, she confronted Daniel alone. She told him he would never belong. That he'd ruined my future. That if he didn't leave quietly, she'd make sure I never spoke to him again. She said you deserved better, Myra said. But what she meant was, you deserved control. My vision blurred. She paid his debts, Myra continued. But only if he disappeared. The cafe felt too small to contain my rage. You're lying, I whispered. Myra slid an envelope across the table. Bank transfers. Messages. Dates. Proof. My hands shook as realization tore through me. I hadn't failed at love. It had been stolen. I confronted my mother that evening. Lena was there, trying on wedding jewelry, glowing in borrowed happiness. Did you threaten my husband? I asked. Mom didn't deny it. I protected you, she said. Look where love got you. You destroyed my life. She scoffed. You were never meant for struggle. You just insist on choosing it. Something broke open inside me. I chose love, I said. And you chose control. She stood. You'll thank me one day. I laughed, a sound raw and unfamiliar. No, but you'll remember this day. I walked out for the last time. And as the door closed behind me, my phone rang. Daniel. After 3 years. I answered. Hello, he said softly. My voice cracked. You should have told me. I wanted to, he replied. But she promised you'd be happier without me. Tears streamed down my face. I wasn't. Silence stretched between us, full of everything we lost. I don't want to go back, he finally said. But I needed you to know the truth. I nodded, even though he couldn't see me. After the call ended, something shifted. The pain didn't vanish, but it sharpened into clarity. I wasn't broken. I was robbed. And now, I knew exactly who had done it. Lena's wedding happened without me. The photos flooded social media. Gold, smiles, perfection carefully curated. My mother looked triumphant. But control has an expiration date. 2 weeks later, my freelance work went viral. An essay I'd written about invisible daughters, stolen choices, and quiet survival. I didn't name names. I didn't have to. People recognized the truth when they saw it. Publishers reached out. Interviews followed. My story became mine again. And then my mother called. Crying. Why would you expose us? She asked. I didn't, I replied calmly. I just stopped hiding. Lena stopped speaking to me. Good. I didn't need permission anymore. Months passed. I moved apartments. Started therapy. Built a life that didn't require approval. One evening, I received a letter. From Daniel. He was engaged, to someone else. Happy. Healing. I loved you, he wrote. I still respect you. But I'm glad you're finally free. I smiled through tears. So was I. Last week, I ran into my mother at a store. She looked smaller. You could still start over, she said softly. Get married properly. I met her eyes. I already did, I replied. And this time, there was no bitterness, only peace. Because the bravest thing I ever did wasn't marrying in secret. It was surviving the truth. And choosing myself. After everyone else failed to.